Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about where to purchase pre-loved Chanel pieces, and specifically I'm going to share with you which sources I personally have experience with and which sources I trust. And there are three that I'm going to endorse today, but of course always please do your own research, do your own due diligence, ask all the right questions, ask lots of questions if you have them, ask for additional photos or videos or documentation. This stuff is not cheap, so don't just go by my word. This is just my personal experience. These are the sources that I go back to time and time again, but of course, please do your own due diligence as always as a informed consumer. Okay, so I have 5 pieces here that I'm going to share with you. In chronological order, I'm going to share which pre-loved Chanel piece I bought first, all the way up to the latest one. So there are actually 5 here. One is hidden in the back. You'll see what I mean when I get to it. So this is the very first Chanel piece that I purchased. And for those of you who've been on my channel before, you'll immediately recognize this. This is the Chanel wallet on chain, or better known as the walk. And this is in the black caviar with the silver hardware. A couple of years ago, I was in search of this. I think I had seen reviews on Minnie's channel, Minx for All. I'm sure you all know her. And she did a comparison with the walk and then versus the mini rectangle. And I have the mini rectangle now in the caramel 21p color, but at that time I didn't have it. And I saw her pack this to the brim, and I noticed that it really fit a lot, essentials and then some, and I don't really carry a lot with me, so I thought it would be absolutely perfect and definitely more affordable than the mini rectangle price. So yeah, I got smitten with this at the time. I went to the boutiques. I even called the client service line, and unfortunately, long story short, there were no Chanel classic style walks available in this color combination anywhere in the United States at the time. So that's when I thought, let me just start to research the pre-loved market. And I started to research Fashionphile. This is from Fashionphile, and this is a 2017 model, but I purchased it in 2019. So at that point, it was 2 years old, but unused. I think the previous owner had it and stored it and just never reached for it because all the tags were still attached. The sticker was still intact. All the accompanying materials like dust bag, authenticity card, booklet, I don't think the receipt was part of it, but the box, everything, the ribbon, everything that you would usually get from the boutique was included. So it was in brand spanking new condition, even though it was on the pre-loved market. I did get this slightly below the current retail at the time. I think it was selling for $2,500 in the boutiques, and I got this for like $24.75 or $24.50. So barely any savings, but I was really happy to be able to get it because it was so hard to find here in the States at the time. This is the older model with the snap closure. I don't mind it. I do have another walk that has the updated magnetic closure. It is a little bit easier to close, but I still love this one. My preference is for this gorgeous caviar. It's really buttery, soft. It's one of the softest caviar that I've felt really in a long while, and so I'm definitely going to keep this one. I have the MBoutique base shaper in here, which really opens up the side of the bag. This is all going to be repetitive if you've been on my channel before, so excuse the repetitive information, but for those of you who are new, you might be interested. MBoutique, I do have a promo code down below in my description box. They're not an affiliate. I just share the promo code in case you'd like to shop and save some money. But this is what it looks like, right? Just such a classic, still considered a small leather good or SLG, but I use this as a mini bag for sure. And there's a little white dust ball here that's bothering me. So it's got all these compartments. I won't go into detail here, but one of the benefits of shopping on the pre-loved market, especially with a site like Fashionphile, is that they have a really, really wide selection. They have a lot of inventory. Sometimes I'm amazed by how much inventory they have, and you can be really selective about, do you want to save a little bit of money and go for the item that's in a little less of pristine condition, or do you want to really take your time and hunt down the one that's in the absolute pristine condition that you're looking for? You don't have to rush because you're doing this at your computer in the comfort of your own home, shopping online versus being in the boutique with an essay waiting for you to make an answer or make a decision right there on the spot. So I do think the leisure of time, the ability to research and sort of scour the website and see if anything new pops up, you can even flag certain ones as favorites, and you can also even put in an alert so that if you're looking for something specific, you type in the name of that item, and then when that becomes available, then it kind of pops up in your inbox and you're alerted right away, so you'd be one of the first to see it. So a lot of good features on Fashionphile. I do think that sometimes they overprice their things, especially the newer, trendier items, but if you're going for some of the older classics or even the older, trendier items that are not as hot now, you could still get a really good deal, or at least a fair deal. And if you're willing to forego things like authenticity card, dust bag, box, etc., and maybe even compromise a little bit on the condition, you could definitely save money. You should be able to buy for below retail for sure. So that was the first time that I got this. I know this is a long-winded story on my first piece. I do need to get through these here, but I wanted to be thorough because I know how nerve-wracking it is to purchase something pre-loved, and this was my first time purchasing anything of any kind ever pre-loved, let alone Chanel, luxury, anything. So I was pretty nervous, but Fashionphile has a 30-day return policy, and I hope that they continue that because it's pretty generous. You can, get the item at home, take your time, look at it, check it out, obviously be respectful of it if you're not sure if you're going to keep it or not. Take good care of it, but then you can take your time making your decision, right? There have been times also where I've ordered and I wasn't home, I was on vacation, and the package would be sitting for a couple of weeks. I have a doorman, so it would be safe, but I wouldn't have the chance to actually look at the item for, at least a couple of weeks in. So that generous return window is really helpful. And I have not had any issues with returning. I have returned a couple of items in the past that didn't work out. Fashionphile is not perfect by any means. I did have a pretty not so great experience once with a red mini square. If you missed that video, it was pretty controversial. I'll link it up above. It was the 18B mini square caviar. Beautiful, beautiful, but they didn't disclose something on the posting, and so there was an issue, and I wound up returning it. But that was my one experience that I was like, had a little bit of a bad taste, but then I went back to Fashionphile, and so far so good with the rest. So here, this one was the second Chanel purchase that I made from Fashionphile. Oh, by the way, I did share this a while back, but this is from ZOOMONI, also not an affiliate, but I do have a promo code down below in my description box. I do get all of my, or most of my, bag organizers and inserts from here, but this is one of their newer products. It's this gorgeous, really nice quality microfiber, and it's a dust bag specifically for Chanel classic flaps, and it's got this little compartment here, so I tuck the chains inside so that the chains don't rub against the leather, especially lambskin, when I store it. So just want to show you that. So this one here is my one and only vintage. This is a 6 series Chanel classic flap in the medium size, black lambskin, silver hardware. I really wanted this combination. As you can see early on, I really loved this combination here. I feel like it's casual, but can also be dressed up. So I love the versatility of this combination. And I felt like the gold hardware just felt a little bit more fancy, more mature, more formal. So I gravitated towards this. It was not easy to find, and I had some failed attempts with brand new ones from the boutique that I ultimately returned because of quality issues. If you look at my Chanel playlist, you'll see those. Those videos were pretty popular. A lot of people watched those and felt that they were helpful. So if you missed it, you can go check those out. So yeah, I wanted this color combination, and I think this vintage condition is so beautiful, pristine. The structure is still intact. As you can see, the quilting is flattened out over time, but this is a 20-plus-year-old bag, so I think it's doing amazing. I'll open it up and show you. I put one of my buffer cloths in here just to protect the lambskin here a little bit. It's definitely pre-loved. It's aged, and there's some creasing and imprints, but I think it's beautiful. It came with the authenticity card, the dust bag, as well as a Fashionphile dust bag. It's not perfect, but I would say that based on my experience, vintage quality is definitely much more reliable and consistent than the newer classic flaps that are being made. I think we can all agree on that as Chanel fans. Yeah, that's just kind of the hard truth. So this too, I got well below retail at the time, and yeah, it is my one and only vintage. So I'll put that over there. And then because I'm going in chronological order, I'm going to show you my jumbo here. This one I did not get from Fashionphile. This I got from on Instagram, a reseller called Rouge Street Bags. I will put the information down below. The owner of Rouge Street Bags is a lovely gal. Her name is Jazz. She's a mom. She's a working mom. This is what she does for a living. She consigns and resells Chanel as well as Hermes. I think those are her two specialties, but she has mostly Chanel. And I really wanted a jumbo. You guys have heard me talk about my, how I saw and tried on the jumbo in my 20s, but then I didn't buy it. I was at the boutique at Saks Fifth Avenue. And at the time, I just was trying to be a responsible adult. I think I was newly married, paying off a mortgage. I was going through my master's degree program, working full time, so lots of responsibilities. And I was trying to be sensible, and I didn't buy it at the time. So I probably would have saved a lot of money if I purchased it in the boutique at that time, because it was a fraction of the price. But I got a great deal on this Preloved, and it's the single flap. So, I love the chains. I love the chains. This is a big bag. It's a big, bold bag. Again, black caviar, silver hardware, my preference. And the caviar is gorgeous and shiny and puffy. And as you can see, the structure is still there. Unfortunately, with a lot of the single flap jumbos, the top here gets really pointy over time if you don't take good care of it or if you overfill it. And when I saw this one on Rouge Street Bags page on Instagram, I was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen one in such amazing condition. And the price was well below retail. It also has the flattened CC. So let me tell you, I was so nervous, even more nervous to trust purchasing this more than I was purchasing from Fashionphile, because at least Fashionphile is a company. They probably have, they had an authenticity guarantee, and they still do. They have probably insurance as a company. And I think at the time I don't know if they still have now, but they had a pretty public partnership with Neiman Marcus. So I thought, I'm sure if that's the case, Neiman Marcus would have vetted them first before partnering with Fashionphile. So that gave me some peace of mind, as well as the 30-day return window. With this, however, I'm dealing with a person who I don't know. It's not a company. There's really not a lot of information other than the fact that she had been selling on eBay for, I think it was like 9 or 10 years with 100% positive reviews before moving her business to Instagram. And I think it was because eBay was like taking too much of a cut at that point. I imagine the fee structure had changed, and so it made more sense for her to move to Instagram. So yeah, I lucked out getting to know her, and I just took a leap of faith after asking a bajillion questions. She was very patient, very thorough. If you watch my unboxing video of this, you'll know that she packaged this up like Fort Knox. It was so well packaged, so secure. I'll link that video up above if you want to see it, and my genuine reaction when I opened this. So yeah, this was a really great purchase. The benefit of working with a personal reseller such as Rouge Street Bags versus a company like Fashionphile is that you can ask so many questions. You can ask for additional photos from different angles. You can ask for videos. You can ask for their opinion. They're very well versed in this kind of stuff. So I had asked at the time, what do you think based on all the bags that you've seen in terms of the quality and the structure? What do you think? And if you feel that they're being honest with you, then just, trust that. But yeah, I have recommended many people to Jazz at this point, and other YouTubers have purchased from her. I know that, and my friends have purchased from her. So I can definitely personally endorse her. But of course, as always, do your own research and do your own due diligence. But this one I'm definitely happy with. And then hiding back there is another Fashionphile purchase. This is a black patent leather card holder. It's got the chevron. It's got the So Black, which is the black on black. I thought it looked really chic, really edgy. And this is my third Chanel card holder. And I don't know, I kind of wanted something in patent. I wanted to test out patent. If you watched my unboxing video on this, I had purchased some other patent pieces, which I got kind of nervous about and decided not to keep. But this one has been working out great. This was in excellent condition, below retail, from Fashionphile. So yeah, even the SLGs, you can find a lot on their site. And then before I move on to that one, because there's a story on this one here and an update as well, I also want to talk about the bag that I got from Elma at the Guru Edit. Again, I'll spell it out and put it in my description box below. Elma is a personal friend of mine, but I'm also a customer of hers, and she's also a subby of mine. So without getting into too much detail, we first connected or met when she started watching my YouTube videos at the very start of my YouTube journey about 2 years ago. And then we started to become friends on Instagram, chit-chatting, connecting. Then we talked on the phone. Then she visited New York, and then she visited New York again because she lives in Texas. So we legit became friends, now know about each other's hubbies and kids and all of that. And she's a fabulous person. She is also a stylist. She's also incredibly meticulous, and she has a Chanel consignment and reselling business on Instagram, and it's called The Guru Edit. I purchased my mom's dream bag from her. It was the Chanel Classic Flap Medium 24K gold plated hardware. So it's the gold. My mom has a preference for the gold. Black caviar, I think I said that. I don't know. I'm like stumbling because it's so beautiful. I'm going to link the original video up above. So stunningly pristine, so shiny, puffy, gorgeous, perfect. And I will tell you that Elma is so picky. You guys think that I'm picky? She is just as picky, if not more. So we have a lot of conversations picking apart different things, and it's hilarious. She has an eagle eye, and she also has just a really good eye for spotting amazing pieces, especially vintage and pre-loved. That's her kind of specialty. So you have to watch that video if you missed it. It's such a beautiful bag. I'm going to link it up above. It's a shame I don't have it with me, but obviously it was a gift from my mom. So she has it, and she doesn't live here. So I'd have to go drive 2 hours to get it from her just to show you guys. It's so, so beautiful. I even posted photos of my mom wearing the bag on my Instagram a while back when she first got it. She was so over the moon. It's her first one and only Chanel bag, and I was just so, so happy to be able to gift that to her. So yeah, I would highly recommend Elma at the Guru Edit, not only because she's a personal friend of mine, but because I can endorse her as a customer, and because I have my mom as a happy client, happy customer to vouch for as well, a happy gift recipient. So definitely. The other bag that's not showing here, and I'm going to leave this for last, as I said, the other bag that's not showing here is I did buy a beautiful classic flap red 13 series lambskin with silver hardware. So beautiful, like pop of cherry red, just so festive and so cheerful looking. I got it, was it last Christmas? And then I pretty quickly realized that red handbags are just not for me, unfortunately, and it was really hard to let go. But I did sell that in my vlog sale, so if the person who purchased it from me is watching this video now, I hope you're really enjoying it and loving it. I was happy to let it go to somebody who would appreciate it and make use of it. But that bag also was from Jazz, Rouge Street Bags. So that's twice that I purchased from Jazz, and it worked out beautifully. The quality, condition was everything I expected and more. Okay, let me move on to this last one here. So this one was my most recent Chanel purchase, I guess. I think it was from Fashionphile, and I was on a hunt for the perfect tote bag, classy, polished, professional, classic, understated, fits my laptop, has compartments, has a closure, can be carried in the hand, on the shoulder, in the crook of the arm. I wanted versatility. I wanted everything. Like you guys know, if you're following me on Instagram, I had posted so many stories in my search for the perfect tote, and I had gone and tried on so many, and I, X'd out many because of various reasons, and this was the one that made the cut. It's stunning. It is filled right now with a ZOOMONI organizer, and yeah, you can go back on my Chanel playlist if you're curious. This is called the Chanel Executive Surf Tote, and I think it's a 19 series. The authenticity card is in there somewhere. Anyway, I got this, and it was listed in very good condition, and it is in very, very good condition with the authenticity card and the dust bag. However, there has been a turn of events, and I knew this might happen. I think I had mentioned this on Instagram, that there was a possibility of this. After finding this bag and being so happy to finally have the perfect tote bag, I realized recently that my work situation is evolving, as I'm sure as many, for many of you. And for the foreseeable future, I am going to be continuing working from home. And even if I do go into the office, it's going to be very rare. And when I do go in, I can just use like a really simple, lightweight, throw around bag, just throw my laptop in there. And I can't even imagine that happening anytime soon. So it just seems wasteful for me to hang on to this just in case I go into the office and just in case I need this. It's just the nature of my work has evolved a lot in the past year. So without getting into too much detail, I just know that this isn't going to get as much use, and I don't like that feeling. I really don't like that feeling when something's just sitting. So long story short, I have a lovely Instagram gal or follower who asked if she could purchase this because she's in the opposite situation as me, where she is going back into the office officially on a full-time basis, and she's looking for a tote just like this that can fit her laptop and all the needs that I had mentioned earlier. So it's like we've swapped roles. So she's purchasing the bag from me at the exact same price that I purchased it from Fashionphile. I've never used it other than to just do mod shots and film to show you guys the details because I haven't gone to the office yet. So I haven't had a chance to use it. So this is going to be leaving my collection, and I just wanted to share that transparently with you guys because I personally, it's a pet peeve of mine when I see a beautiful bag on a YouTube channel and then I find out that they no longer have it, but I didn't know. I don't know why. It's none of my business, honestly. They don't have to share it, but I like to just sort of, I guess I remember and keep track. And then when I discover like, hey, I don't see it anymore, what happened? I become very curious. So to prevent that from happening with you guys, I just wanted to share this. It was only in my life for a little short period of time, but I guess it was meant to be because it's going to somebody who's absolutely lovely, and she's purchased from me before, so I think she's just the right person. So I'll be packing that beautiful tote up and sending it out. So that's what I wanted to share. Let me just clean this up a bit. I also want to remind you guys that I have a Chanel giveaway happening right now, and if you watched my last video, then you'll know what I'm referring to. This beauty right here in the gorgeous holiday wrapping, and this is the other one that I opened and unboxed in the last video. I won't go and unbox this whole thing right now, but if you want all the details and the giveaway rules, go back to my last video. I'll link it up above. Isn't this so pretty? This is the one that I will be giving away. It is wrapped up and still intact, and I'll just leave it just like this, and I'll ship it out to whoever the winner is. Winner will be announced on my Instagram stories on December 1st. I will also try to announce the winner here on my channel if I can time it. So stay tuned for that. And if you are on the fence or considering, going the pre-loved route for Chanel items or any kind of luxury items, I do encourage that. If you have the time and the patience to research and search and compare photos and ask questions, I do recommend, because you'll have a wider selection to choose from versus going to the boutique and groveling for that one that's in the back that maybe they'll give you if it's not reserved for somebody else, So the three sources, again, just to recap: Fashionphile, very popular, very well known, 30-day return window, wide selection. They're not perfect, as I said, but at least you can take your time and pick and choose. Jazz from Rouge Street Bags, I purchased this one from, and the red one that I had let go. And also Elma, my dear friend at The Guru Edit. She is just such an amazing hunter. Yeah, I have to say she's like a hunter. If you tell her what you're looking for, she will hunt down and she will source, because she's got a lot of different contexts, especially for pre-loved and vintage Chanel, as I said. So those three I personally can vouch for and endorse. There are so many other sources out there. There's so many sources on eBay. I have tried eBay in the past, but I won't get into that right now. There's also Rebag, which I tried once or twice, but I don't have the pieces with me. I prefer Fashionphile over Rebag only because they have a wider selection and a much more generous return window, but Rebag is also an option. And there are so many other resellers on Instagram. A lot of times I receive DMs from many of you asking, hey, I noticed that you're connected with this IG account. Do you endorse them? And I might follow them because I love the eye candy, but no, if I've not mentioned them, I don't endorse them because I don't have experience with them. And I could never recommend or endorse anything or promote anything that I haven't actually experienced myself, touched and felt myself. I just don't feel like I could do that in a sincere way. So All of the other resellers on Instagram, I'm sure there are so many amazing ones and very legitimate ones, but I don't know them, so I won't be mentioning them. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. I hope that you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're based in the US here. I hope that you're gearing up for a wonderful festive holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I hope that it's a beautiful time for you, wonderful season. My family and I, we celebrate Christmas, so we're really excited. We've got 2 kids who are, it's always fun when you've got kids around Christmas. So wishing you all the best, and till the next video. Thanks so much. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, found it helpful. If you are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe, join our community. Make sure to check out my last video if you want to get all the details on the giveaway, as I mentioned, this beauty here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.